12-year-old Rayhan didn't want to move. His father said the city was too expensive, and the new job in the countryside meant a fresh start. But to Rayhan, fresh start meant leaving behind his friends, his school, and the noise that made him feel safe. Their new home stood on a lonely road outside a small village, a two-story house with cracked paint and ivy crawling up the sides. The windows were tall and thin, like watching eyes. "Looks big, right?" his father said, forcing a smile. Rayhan nodded, though his stomach felt tight. "Yeah, big." The house smelled of damp wood and something faintly metallic, like old blood. His mother said it was just the pipes. But Rayhan knew there was something else, something breathing behind the walls. The first few days passed quietly. His father worked late. His mother unpacked boxes. Rayhan wandered the empty rooms, counting the echoes of his footsteps. Then he found it, a small wooden door beneath the staircase. It was half his height, painted dark green, and secured with a rusty iron latch. He tugged it once, locked. "Mom," he called. "What's this door?" She appeared with a half-open box of dishes. "Probably a storage crawl space. Don't mess with it, honey." "But it's locked." "Then it's meant to stay that way," she said and walked away. That night, Rayhan couldn't sleep. The wind outside was howling, and the floorboards creaked as if someone were walking slowly up and down the hall. And from downstairs, faintly, tap, tap, tap. He froze. It was coming from the door under the stairs. The next morning, he told his parents. His father laughed. "Old houses make noises, son. Wind, pipes, wood, they all shift." "But it was tapping," Rayhan insisted. "Like someone knocking." His mother gave him a tired smile. "You've just been nervous since the move. Maybe keep your light on tonight, okay?" He nodded, though the reassurance didn't help. That night, he did leave the lamp on. He read comic books until his eyes drooped. Then, tap, tap, tap. He sat up. It was louder this time. He crept out of bed, tiptoed to the stairs, and leaned over the railing. From the darkness below, something whispered. "Rayhan." He froze. His heart hammered. Rayhan opened the door. He bolted back to bed and pulled the blanket over his head. The whispering went on for a while, soft and patient, like it knew he was listening. When morning came, the door under the stairs was slightly open. Rayhan didn't tell his parents this time. He didn't want them to think he was crazy. He crouched by the little door and peered in. It opened to a narrow tunnel. Too dark to see anything, but cold air rushed out, smelling of soil and rot. He called out, "Hello." Something moved. A faint giggle echoed, high-pitched, childish, familiar. Then, two small eyes blinked back at him from the darkness. Rayhan stumbled back and slammed the door shut. He locked it. He even pushed a chair against it. But that night, the whisper returned. "I'm cold. Let me in." The voice sounded like his own. The next day, his parents were out running errands. Rayhan stayed home, pretending to read. He couldn't stop glancing at the door. By afternoon, curiosity began to win over fear. Maybe it was another kid. Maybe there was a passage to another house. Maybe. He unlocked the latch. The door creaked open. Inside, the tunnel seemed deeper now, the air heavier. A faint humming filled his ears. "Hello," he whispered. A small shape crawled out. At first, he thought it was a stray animal. But then it straightened, a boy, about his age, pale and thin, with messy black hair and wide, empty eyes. Rayhan stumbled back. Who are you?" The boy smiled faintly. "I'm your friend." Rayhan shook his head. "No, I don't know you." "You do," the boy said softly. "You used to live here. We played together. You left me behind. I've never been here before." The boy tilted his head. "That's what they all say." Then he crawled backward into the darkness and vanished. Rayhan couldn't eat that night. He kept glancing at the staircase, expecting to see the door moving again. While his parents slept, he sneaked into the basement. Maybe there was some history, some clue. In an old wooden box, he found a leather-bound diary. The first page was dated 1986. "The boy under the stairs keeps calling. I told Mother, but she doesn't hear him. He says his name is Rayhan too. He wants me to play." Rayhan's blood ran cold. "He looks like me, talks like me, but when he smiles, his teeth are wrong." The next pages were smeared with something dark, dried, reddish-brown. The last entry read, "He says I can stay forever if I let him out. He's knocking now. I think I will." That night, Rayhan woke to find his bedroom freezing cold. The lamp flickered and died. The air smelled of soil again. He turned. and saw muddy footprints leading from the door to his bed. Then he heard it, the faint creak of the latch under the stairs. Footsteps approached. Slow. Wet. He grabbed his flashlight and aimed it toward the hall. Nothing. He turned to the mirror, and his reflection was smiling, even though he wasn't. The reflection whispered, "Why did you lock me away?" Rayhan screamed. The glass shattered. The reflection's mouth kept moving, whispering through the cracks. "Let's trade places." The next morning, Rayhan's parents found him pale and shaking. "I'm not sleeping in this house anymore," he yelled. "There's someone here. A boy. He looks like me." His father frowned. "Enough. This nonsense has to stop. I'm not lying. He comes out at night." But his mother just sighed. "We'll have the place checked, okay? Maybe it's just rats." Rayhan's father grabbed a flashlight and went to inspect the door. "If it makes you feel better, we'll see what's behind it." He pulled the latch. The door opened. To nothing. Just dirt. Cobwebs. Dead air. No tunnels, no ghosts, his father said firmly. "It's sealed." See. But Rayhan noticed something else. The muddy footprints leading out of the crawl space. Too small to belong to his father. Too fresh to be old. That night, Rayhan's father slept in the living room to prove the house was safe. By morning, he was gone. All that remained was his flashlight, lying in front of the open door. Rayhan's mother called the police. They searched the woods, the basement, the nearby fields. No sign of him. But Rayhan knew where he'd gone. That night, the voice came again. "Rayhan." He sat up, tears burning in his eyes. "Give him back." The shadow boy stepped out from the darkness, smiling. His skin was grayer now, his eyes sunken. "He's here with me," the boy said. "You can join him." "No. You opened the door," the boy hissed. "You let me out. Now I need to stay somewhere. Trade me your place, and you'll be free. It's fair." Rayhan shook his head, backing away. "You're lying." The shadow boy's grin widened. "You look tired. I can rest for you." And then he lunged. When Rayhan's mother entered his room the next morning, he was standing by the window, smiling faintly. She hugged him tight. "Oh my God, Rayhan. You scared me last night." He smiled wider. "Sorry, Mom." His voice was lower, colder. That night, when she tucked him into bed, he stared at her with glassy eyes. "Mom," he said softly, "can we stay here forever?" She laughed nervously. "Maybe for a while, sweetheart." He smiled again. "Good." Later, when she turned off the light and left, the reflection in the window whispered back, "Thank you for letting me out." And from under the stairs, faint scratching began again. Someone else was knocking. Tap, tap, tap. A few weeks later, new owners moved into the house. A couple with a little boy named Danish. The place looked beautiful after repairs, freshly painted walls, new furniture, bright curtains. The family loved it immediately. On their first night, as Danish explored, he found the small green door under the stairs. He called out, "Mom, can I open this?" She smiled. "Not tonight, honey." But when the lights went out, Danish heard it, faint and friendly. "Hey, wanna play?"